From the battlefields of the Civil War to the beaches of Normandy, the 18th Infantry Regiment stands as one of the oldest and most battle-hardened units in the United States Army. For more than 160 years, its soldiers have lived its motto, "Duty First." The story begins in 1861, as the United States split apart and Civil War erupted. The 18th Infantry Regiment was formed as part of the regular army, professional soldiers trained to fight with discipline and purpose. Through Shiloh, Chickamauga, Missionary Ridge, and the Atlanta Campaign, the regiment earned its reputation in the fire and chaos of America's bloodiest war. After the Civil War, the 18th served on the western frontier, patrolling the plains, guarding settlements, and fighting in the Indian Wars. It became a symbol of the expanding American army, always at the edges of danger. When World War I exploded in Europe, the 18th Infantry Regiment joined the newly formed 1st Infantry Division, the legendary Big Red One. Crossing the Atlantic in 1917, the regiment entered combat in France against the battle-hardened armies of the German Empire. At Cantigny, the 18th launched the first major American offensive of the war. Under relentless machine gun fire, they captured the shattered village and held it against repeated counterattacks. For this action, they earned the French Croix de Guerre and proved the American army was a force to be reckoned with. From Soissons to Saint-Mihiel, and finally the Meuse-Argonne offensive, the regiment fought in the largest campaign in U.S. history. When the guns fell silent in November 1918, the 18th had fought its way into the heart of the German defenses and into the history books. 2 decades later, the world once again demanded their courage. In 1942, the 18th Infantry Regiment prepared for another Great War, and this time, their struggle would span multiple continents. Their first major combat of World War II came during the North African Campaign, fighting the German Afrika Korps in Tunisia. Then, in July 1943, they stormed the beaches of Sicily, battling through hill towns and fortified positions to break Axis control of the island. But the regiment's greatest test awaited them across the English Channel. June 6, 1944, D-Day. The 18th Infantry Regiment landed on Omaha Beach, the most heavily defended sector of the Normandy invasion. Artillery screams overhead. Machine gun fire cuts the air. Men fight through blood-red surf and barbed wire, clawing their way forward. Pinned down by fire from the bluffs, small groups of soldiers push inland, scaling cliffs and knocking out bunkers one by one. By nightfall, the 18th Infantry Regiment had secured a foothold, but at a terrible cost. Hundreds killed, wounded, or missing. But the beachhead was held. The road to liberation had begun. Through the hedgerows of Normandy, the regiment pushed forward, liberating towns and breaking German strongholds. They helped close the Falaise pocket, trapping thousands of enemy troops. Then came the desperate fight across France, into Belgium, and toward the heart of Hitler's Reich. In December 1944, the Germans launched their final gamble, the Battle of the Bulge. Surrounded by snow-covered forests and brutal winter winds, the 18th Infantry Regiment stood firm, holding the line against the German advance. Their tenacity helped turn the tide of the battle and of the war. Crossing the Rhine River, the regiment continued to advance into Germany, fighting until Nazi Germany surrendered in May 1945. By the end of the war, the soldiers of the 18th Infantry Regiment had earned a legacy of sacrifice and glory, over 400 days of frontline combat and countless acts of heroism. The regiment's service did not end there. The 18th fought in Vietnam, where its soldiers endured ambushes, jungle warfare, and grueling operations across the Central Highlands. They later served in Desert Storm, Iraq, and Afghanistan, continuing their lineage of courage in the modern era. Across 3 centuries of service, the 18th Infantry Regiment has never retreated from responsibility, never turned from danger, never failed their mission. Their motto is more than a phrase, it is a promise: duty first. The fighting legacy of the 18th Infantry Regiment endures, wherever the nation calls.